What if I told you that a college dropout once made a decision so controversial that it changed the entire world forever? This man didn't just drop out of Harvard. He dropped out to chase a dream that everyone thought was impossible. Today, that dream is worth over $100 billion. This is the untold story of Bill Gates. Before we dive into this incredible journey, make sure to hit that like button if you're ready to discover how one person's vision can reshape humanity. And don't forget to subscribe and ring the notification bell, because we're about to reveal the 3 pivotal moments that transformed a shy teenager into the most powerful tech mogul in history. Bill Gates wasn't born into poverty like most rags-to-riches stories. Born in 1955 in Seattle, he grew up in an upper-middle-class family. His father was a lawyer. His mother served on corporate boards. But here's what nobody talks about. Young Bill was actually a troublemaker. At age 13, he was enrolled in the exclusive Lakeside School, where tuition cost more than most people's annual salary. It was here that Bill first encountered a computer, a massive machine that filled an entire room. But what happened next would set the course for everything that followed. The school had purchased computer time from a local company, and Bill became obsessed. He would sneak out of other classes, skip meals, and spend every waking moment learning to code. But here's the shocking part. He wasn't just learning, he was already thinking like a businessman. While other kids were playing sports, 15-year-old Bill Gates was already making money from computers. He and his friend Paul Allen discovered a bug in the school's computer system. And instead of just reporting it, they made a deal. They would fix the security flaws in exchange for unlimited computer time. But that wasn't enough. Bill's entrepreneurial mind was already working on something bigger. He convinced his school to let him create a class scheduling program. What they didn't know was that Bill secretly programmed the system to place him in classes with the most attractive girls in school. This wasn't just teenage mischief. It was the first sign of Bill's ability to see opportunities where others saw problems. And it wouldn't be the last time he would use his technical skills to gain an advantage. In 1973, Bill Gates scored 1590 out of 1600 on his SATs and was accepted into Harvard University. His parents were thrilled. Their son was on track to become a lawyer or doctor. But Bill had other plans brewing in his mind. At Harvard, he spent most of his time in the computer lab and playing poker. His professors barely knew him, but his dorm mates remember him as the guy who could solve complex mathematical problems in his head while others struggled with calculators. Then came the moment that changed everything. In December 1974, Paul Allen showed Bill a magazine article about the Altair 8800, one of the first personal computers. While everyone else saw it as a toy for hobbyists, Bill saw something that would blow your mind. He realized that personal computers would soon be in every home and office, but they would need software to run. This was the opportunity of a lifetime, but there was one problem. He was still in college, and his parents expected him to graduate. Here's where Bill Gates made the decision that would either make him a billionaire or ruin his life forever. In his sophomore year at Harvard, he made a phone call that would change the world. He called the makers of the Altair 8800 and claimed he had developed a basic programming language for their computer. Here's the shocking truth. He was lying. He hadn't written a single line of code yet, but he was betting everything on his ability to deliver. Bill and Paul Allen locked themselves in a room for 8 weeks, surviving on pizza and determination. They were racing against time, knowing that other programmers around the world were working on the same problem. The pressure was enormous. If they failed, Bill would have to return to Harvard with his tail between his legs. But something incredible happened. Not only did they create the software, but it worked perfectly on the first try. This success gave Bill the confidence to make the most important decision of his life. In 1975, Bill Gates walked into his parents' living room and announced he was dropping out of Harvard. The room fell silent. His mother, who had always been his biggest supporter, was devastated. His father, a successful lawyer, couldn't understand how his son could throw away an Ivy League education. But Bill had a vision that nobody else could see. He predicted that computers would become as common as televisions, and someone needed to create the software to run them. He convinced Paul Allen to leave his job, and together they founded Microsoft in a garage in Albuquerque, New Mexico. The early days were brutal. They had no money, no business experience, and everyone told them they were crazy. But Bill had something that money couldn't buy: an unwavering belief in his vision and a work ethic that bordered on obsession. What happened next is the stuff of legend. Microsoft's big break came when IBM approached them to create an operating system for their new personal computer. Here's where Bill's genius really showed. He didn't just create software, he negotiated a deal that would make him unimaginably wealthy. Instead of selling the software to IBM, Bill convinced them to license it. This meant that every computer sold would generate revenue for Microsoft. It was a masterstroke that most people didn't understand at the time. But Bill was already thinking 10 steps ahead. He knew that other companies would create IBM-compatible computers, and they would all need his operating system. MS-DOS became the foundation of the personal computer revolution, and Bill Gates was positioned to profit from every single machine sold. By the 1980s, Microsoft was growing at an unprecedented rate. But Bill wasn't satisfied with just operating systems. He had an even bigger vision. He wanted to put a computer on every desk and in every home. The launch of Windows in 1985 changed everything. Suddenly, computers weren't just for programmers and hobbyists. Regular people could use them with a simple point-and-click interface. Bill had democratized computing, and the world would never be the same. But here's what most people don't know. Bill Gates wasn't just building a software company. He was building an ecosystem. Every program, every feature, every decision was designed to keep users locked into the Microsoft world. It was brilliant, controversial, and incredibly effective. In 1986, Microsoft went public, and Bill Gates became the world's youngest billionaire at age 31. But wealth wasn't his ultimate goal. Power was. He wanted to control the future of technology, and he was willing to do whatever it took to achieve that vision. Throughout the 1990s, Bill's reputation became complicated. He was seen as both a visionary and a ruthless businessman. The government accused Microsoft of monopolistic practices, and competitors painted him as a villain. But Bill saw it differently. He was fighting for the future of technology. The truth is that Bill Gates operated by a different set of rules. While others were content to compete, he was busy eliminating competition. His famous phrase, "embrace, extend, and extinguish," became the blueprint for how Microsoft dealt with rivals. But then something unexpected happened. At the height of his power, Bill Gates made another life-changing decision that shocked the world. In 2000, he stepped down as CEO of Microsoft to focus on philanthropy. This wasn't just a career change. It was a complete transformation. The man who had been criticized for his business practices became one of the world's most generous philanthropists. Through the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, he began tackling global issues like poverty, disease, and education. But here's the question that nobody talks about. Was this always part of his plan? Some say Bill realized that his true legacy wouldn't be in technology, but in how he used his wealth to change the world. Others believe he was trying to repair his reputation after years of controversy. Today, Bill Gates is no longer the richest person in the world, but his impact on humanity continues to grow. His foundation has helped save millions of lives, eradicate diseases, and provide education to children around the globe. But his technology legacy is equally impressive. The personal computer revolution that he helped create has transformed every aspect of human life. From the way we work to how we communicate, learn, and entertain ourselves, Bill's vision has become reality. The college dropout who everyone thought was making a mistake has fundamentally changed the course of human history. He proved that with enough vision, determination, and strategic thinking, one person can literally reshape the world. So what can we learn from Bill Gates' incredible journey? First, that sometimes the biggest risks lead to the greatest rewards. Second, that success isn't just about having a great idea. It's about having the courage to pursue it when everyone else thinks you're crazy. And finally, that true success isn't measured just in dollars, but in the positive impact you have on the world. If this story inspired you, smash that like button and let me know in the comments. What's the biggest risk you've ever taken for your dreams? And don't forget to subscribe, because next week, we're revealing the shocking truth about another tech mogul who almost lost everything before becoming one of the most powerful people on Earth. Until then, remember, every expert was once a beginner, and every success story started with someone willing to take the first step.